You take a bite of an apple, chew, and swallow. For you, the event is over. You probably won't think about that bite of food again. But inside your body, the real work is just beginning. That solid piece of fruit must be completely dismantled, broken down into microscopic nutrients that are tiny enough to be absorbed directly by your cells and keep you alive. To pull this off, the human body uses a massive piece of internal plumbing. If stretched out, this biological tube measures roughly 7 meters long, tightly compressed to fit behind your ribs. Along it, your body executes 4 strict protocols: ingestion, digestion, absorption, and elimination. Once that food clears your throat, you surrender all control. You have initiated an involuntary, highly coordinated physical and chemical deconstruction process that cannot be paused until the job is done. The process starts in the mouth, which acts as an active preparation station. This marks the beginning of stage 1, ingestion. Your teeth physically crush the solid matter into smaller fragments, while saliva, a transparent liquid produced by your glands, wets the food, turning a dry solid into a slippery, transportable mass. The moment you swallow, the mass drops into the esophagus. You are now entirely locked out of the process. The esophagus operates using peristalsis. The muscles lining this tube contract involuntarily in a downward wave, mimicking the action of squeezing a tube of toothpaste to forcibly push the food toward the stomach. Through ingestion, your body completes the physical packaging and delivery required for the matter to survive the extreme chemical environment ahead. The food lands at the bottom of the chute in the stomach, initiating stage 2, digestion. The thick muscular walls of the stomach violently churn and contract, tearing the incoming mass into even smaller pieces. But the real heavy lifting here is chemical. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, an extremely corrosive fluid that chemically dissolves the food and simultaneously neutralizes most biological threats or germs that hitched a ride on your meal. This aggressive biological decontamination and liquefaction chamber preps the matter for the nutrient extraction phase to come. The chemically dissolved food exits the stomach and enters the small intestine. This marks the start of stage 3, absorption. Despite the name, the small intestine is massive. It accounts for the vast majority of the digestive tract's 7-meter length, tightly coiled and looped into the highly confined space of your lower abdomen. That extreme length serves a specific mathematical purpose. It creates an enormous amount of surface area, maximizing the time the body has to extract vital nutrients from the fast-moving liquid passing through it. This microscopic cross-section shows how that extraction actually happens. The inner walls of the small intestine are lined with thousands of microscopic finger-like projections called villi. These are the physical extraction points that pull the chemical nutrients directly into your body. Without this extensive labyrinth and the microscopic villi lining it, the nutrients we eat would simply slide right through us, entirely useless to ourselves. What remains of the food then enters a much wider section of the pathway, the large intestine. This triggers the final stage, elimination. By this point, all the usable nutrients are gone. The large intestine has one primary biological objective remaining: to absorb the excess water from the leftover, unusable matter. This chart categorizes exactly what makes up the resulting human waste, or poop. It is a mix of undigested solid food, discarded metabolic substances from the body, and a high concentration of bacteria, which is primarily responsible for the smell. This highly efficient disposal system aligns entirely our resource you have to provide from the outside: water. If you don't drink enough fluids, the large intestine struggles to pass that compacted waste down to the rectum. Without sufficient hydration, the physical act of elimination becomes difficult. That bite of food has traveled a 7-meter chemical journey. Successfully turning the outside world into human energy is a multi-stage process, one that requires your active maintenance to succeed.